Hello all, this is Professor Argan. Welcome to my channel, and today it's all about toothpaste. And why do I choose this as a topic? Here you go. We often listen to the proverb that smile is the best medicine. So what can be the best medicine to keep it healthy and bright? And the answer is always a regular healthy teeth routine. So I think why not a discussion about toothpaste that is part of our daily life. In ancient days also, tooth care was integral part of our life. Some of these ancient pastes contain ox hooves and eggshells mixed with pumic stone. The Greeks and the Romans preferred more coarse paste using ground bone and oyster shells. To refresh their breath, they used anything from charcoal to bark, and the Chinese even used ginseng, salt and herbal mints. The beginning of modern toothpaste history started since late 1800. In 1873, Colgate started the mass production of toothpaste in jars. In the late 1890s, the invention of collapsible toothpaste tube brings a new advent in a journey of toothpaste. In 1914, addition of fluoride into toothpaste started to prevent corrosion. Through 1945, toothpaste contained soap as foaming agents. After 1945, toothpaste manufacturers replaced soap with sodium lauryl sulfate or SLS and humectants to make toothpaste a smoother paste. Addition of triclosan antibacterial chemical was first patented in 1964. But it's not the end of the journey of development. Researchers are working on further development as well. One interesting fact which I am going to share with you is that in 1984, Dr. Ida L. Shannon, a dental consultant to Johnson Space Center, Associates with Oral Disease Research Lab of Virginia Hospital in Houston, Texas, had developed edible toothpaste. This toothpaste is foamless and can be swallowed after use, making it practical for zero gravity environment of space. Also has applications with certain patients who are bedridden, wheelchair confined, or patients with oral facial paralysis whose ability to expectorate is limited. Also useful as a first toothpaste for children. Isn't it interesting? Let's get a basic idea about our teeth before having a detailed discussion of chemicals used in toothpaste. Each of our teeth has several protective layers to protect pulp, which contains blood vessels and nerves. The blood vessels in the pulp supply the other layers of the tooth with minerals. The nerves send messages to the brain about temperature, pressure, and injuries to the tooth. The layers that protect the pulp are the cementum, dentin, and enamel. The cementum connects the tooth to the bone in your jaw. Surrounding the pulp is the dentin. The dentin forms the foundation of the outer enamel layer. The outermost layer is enamel. Do you know it is the hardest substance in the human body? Even harder than bone. Enamel is mainly made up of crystalline form of calcium phosphate, and if we measure the hardness of a tooth, it rates 5 on the Mohs scale, which is known as the scale of hardness. Here is a comparison of Mohs scale is given. So what happens when we eat? We all have some bacteria in our mouth. This bacteria, mostly Streptococcus mutans and Lactobacilli, convert foods such as sugars and starches into acid, primarily lactic acid. Together, bacteria, acid, food debris and saliva combine to form a sticky substance called plaque, which sticks to the surface and on the edges of our teeth. The lactic acid produced by the bacteria in the plaque can slowly dissolve the enamel, which is nothing but calcium phosphate, creating holes, better known as dental caries or cavities. When there is enough acid in the mouth that the pH level drops below 5.5, then the acid begins to dissolve the calcium phosphate through a process called demineralization. We might have the question in our mind that what are the chemicals present in our toothpaste to fight this teeth problem? Generally, toothpaste contain the following components. One of the major two components are abrasive, about 50%. Those are silica, hydroxyapatite, aluminium hydroxide, calcium hydrogen phosphates, and calcium carbonate. And another one is water, which contains approximately 20 to 40%. To fight with bacteria and germs, antibacterial agents are added. Generally, triclosan, which fights with gingivitis. Triclosan is bacteriostatic and targets bacteria in fatty acid synthesis. Triclosan virtually releases the ENR enzyme that prevents the fatty acids from doing damage to your gums, and it does not affect your body because we don't have the ENR enzyme in our body. So every morning and night when people are brushing their teeth, there is tons of chemistry going on. Fluoride, mainly in the form of sodium fluoride, stannous fluoride, is used. As detergent, sodium lauryl sulfate is used. As flavorant, spearmint, peppermint or wintergreen can be used. As remineralizer, in some toothpaste, a hydroxyapatite nanoparticle and calcium phosphate is added. As humectant, that is to keep the toothpaste smooth and wet, glycerol, sorbitol, polyethylene glycol, etc. can be added. As anti-sensitivity agents in sensitive toothpaste, strontium fluoride and potassium nitrate or arginine is added. As anti-calculus agent, which are used to control the tartar deposit such as sodium polyphosphate or zinc citrate can be added. So right now I am insisting you all to get back to your toothpaste and check the chemicals out in your brand. Sensitivity is the problem many people have faced in their everyday life. But advanced research with unique nanotechnology based dentin repair technology, researchers developed an innovative substance which is composed of calcium phosphate nanoparticles. Claim has made, after its first use, the product reduces the sensitivity of the nerves to pain, and continued use will reduce the sensitivity of the teeth to pain caused by either hot, cold, sweet or sour conditions. Again, colloidal nanosilver, owing to its enormous surface area along with microbial property, acts as a very potent microbicide. Thus, the necessary measures taken to prevent dental cavities are definitely rinsing mouth with water, which will help you raise the pH of the mouth close to neutral, which is 7. Again, fluoride does not prevent cavities, but it does slow down the demineralization process. When fluoride ions are present, they can form a tough coating over the enamel. This coating helps protect the enamel as it repairs itself. Yes, your teeth can repair themselves. Sodium fluoride repairs your teeth by replacing the lost calcium and phosphorus. When it reaches your teeth, the enamel absorbs it and the lost minerals are replaced in the process called remineralization, keeping the teeth hard. When the acid level in your mouth are low and you eat calcium-rich foods, your teeth can remineralize. In fact, fluoride is often added to drinking water because it is the easiest way to offer fluoride protection to the greatest number of people. So eat good food and brush regularly to keep your smile brighter. If you like this video, what is stopping you to subscribe it? Do like, share and subscribe, and I will soon bring another fun video. Till then, bye bye.